Hello and welcome to TOC Ballots 101. Today we will be covering the following topics. Number 1. The elimination of straight ticket voting in Texas. Number 2. What positions are on the ballot in the upcoming November 3rd general election? Number 3. The responsibilities of each position on the ballot. Number 4. How this change could affect you personally. And number 5. What steps you can take to be sure to be fully prepared on Election Day. This year, voting in Texas is different. Straight ticket voting has been eliminated. What does that mean? It means that voters will no longer be able to automatically select candidates based on party affiliation, but instead will have to navigate to each position on the ballot and select their chosen candidate manually. So, what's on the ballot anyway? There are positions at the municipal, county, state, and federal levels. First, there are the federal government positions for the executive and legislative branches, which most people are familiar with already. The executive positions include president and vice president. The president provides leadership to the nation, advised by a cabinet of appointed secretaries in topics of diverse concerns, such as housing, agriculture, energy, homeland security, and many more. The President appoints all federal judges, has veto power over Congress, and is the commander-in-chief of the military. The Vice President presides over the Senate but only votes in case of a tie, and is always ready to serve as President in the event the current President is unable to carry out their duties. United States Senators and Representatives serve in the U.S. Congress, representing their district's interests at the federal level. There are 2 senators per state, and the number of representatives in a state scales with population. The legislative candidates on your ballot this year depend on the congressional district you live in and whether or not that position is up for election this year. The legislative branch appropriates funds to carry out laws that are written, amended, and voted upon in both houses of Congress. Senators also confirm the federal judges nominated by the President and form various important committees to address both domestic and international policies. State-level positions, including governor and lieutenant governor, state attorney general, state comptroller, state senators and representatives, state commissioners and judges, and the State Board of Education are all on the ballot. The state government works in much the same way as the federal government when it comes to the relationship between the executive and the legislative branches. Unlike federal judges, state judges are elected by popular vote. Judges at the state level mainly review cases that are appealed from the lower courts. The state attorney general acts as the lawyer for the state in all sorts of situations, both at the state and federal level. The State Board of Education makes decisions about Texas educational curriculum and textbooks, which influences many of the other states' educational policies. The state comptroller is essentially the state's treasurer. They oversee the organization that collects and distributes state and local taxes. State commissioners are responsible for many important functions. The Texas Railroad Commissioner is responsible for regulating the Texas oil and gas industry, not the railroads. The Texas Land Commissioner oversees the management of public land in Texas, or land owned by the Texas government. The Texas Agriculture Commissioner oversees the promotion of the agricultural industry and consumer protection for food produced in Texas. The county government has a lot of different positions. County commissioners are responsible for the state's infrastructure. They also make laws and decisions on use of state assets like land and natural resources. The county voter registrar, as the name suggests, oversees the registration and management of voters. The county clerk oversees the department that maintains all of the state's records, including county court records, deeds, and marriage licenses. The county sheriff oversees the office that enforces the criminal laws of Texas, manages and operates the county jail, and serves warrants, among other things. County civil and criminal court judges hear legal issues involving over a certain amount of money. The County Department of Education oversees Texas special education initiatives and continuing education for teachers, as well as funding for school districts. Fourth are the municipal or city government positions. The City Council is the legislative branch of the city government. They create city laws and ordinances, manage budgets, and investigate city agencies when necessary. District civil and criminal judges hear legal issues involving smaller but still significant amounts of money. Justice of the Peace positions hear legal issues involving small amounts of money and misdemeanors, as well as perform marriage ceremonies. Municipal utility districts oversee utilities in areas that are not incorporated into cities. School district board members advocate for public education and communicate with the community about local education. So, why should anyone care? Laws and funding for infrastructure, healthcare, and many important issues begin at the federal level, but affect every level and area in the United States. The process of creating laws and allocating funding is called the chain of responsibility. Every issue has a chain of responsibility. It's the people that vote on the laws and the funding for that issue. Laws and funding for infrastructure, healthcare, and many important issues begin at the federal level. The chain of responsibility for positions at the bottom of the ballot are very local and have direct impacts on daily lives. Road repairs, sidewalks, water quality, red light cameras, local parks, and hospitals are just a small example of the many decisions, laws, and funding allocations that people elected to county and municipal positions are making every day. This is also true for state positions, including commissioners and legislators. State taxes and funds allocated by the federal government are distributed by these elected state officials. Many issues start at the federal level, come through the state level, and then into local laws and funding for that issue. Infrastructure, for example, can start in the U.S. Senate and U.S. House, which will send allocated funds and rules to the state legislatures, where they are voted on and allocated to counties, where the county commissioners will decide how and when to use the funds. So, now that you understand the positions on the ballot and why they're important, what's next? You can learn more about who is running for every position by visiting your county clerk website's election section. This often includes a sample ballot and a candidate section, as well as area maps and election information. The Nonpartisan League of Women Voters allows candidates to provide answers to questions about the position they are running for. This information, as well as election dates and polling locations, is compiled into the free LWV Voter's Guide, which is available online and as a paper booklet, often found at libraries. Elections happen every year in most states in November, and many also have May elections for school boards and other local positions. With Ballot 101 info, you can be confident that you understand your ballot. Plus, you know you can directly impact your daily life by choosing people to fill these important jobs. So let's go vote. Or volunteer, participate in civic education, or run for office. It's all part of civic education and civic engagement. Civicspower.org has more free videos and materials, plus links to civics resources on our website. Check us out and contact us with any ideas or to volunteer.